Oh, pretty good. You know, we're just not doing much offensively against some good pitching. How many runs we score in 18 innings? Not many, obviously, but gets magnified. It's good to see him and Dylan and David all in with some competitive outings. We just didn't do much offensively and didn't support them real well defensively, but you know, they did their part to give us a chance to win. And that's what I'll take out of these first 3 games with them.
Buck, maybe earlier in the year, an inning where he loads the bases, Jeffrey, and walks in a run might have kind of totally unraveled from there. I mean, do you kind of take solace and see some of those steps?
He's gotten better. You know, 2 or 3 of the guys have gotten better. You know, that some of them are just going through growing pains. I know you've watched his, as the years moved on, his velocity has gone up. And I think the job Roger's done with him with his slider is really a pitch he didn't really have. And it's really kind of made hing competitive. He came basically with fastball, changeup, and developing breaking ball. Really, it was a curveball. And really, his changeup hasn't been as consistent for him as it was. Sometimes when guys start throwing a little different breaking ball, they kind of lose a feel for another pitch. But once he gets that going, his athleticism, I think from his position player days, you can tell this guy has a feel for game situations and right from wrong in the game itself. You know, a lot of pitchers are, you know, baseball players because they, you know, he's a baseball player, happens to be a pitcher, and a lot like you know, Alex and Dylan and some of our guys, and that really helps starting pitchers. When you watch a Verlander, you watch a, I mean, I voted for I think the last 2 or 3 years in a row. Voted for Keuchel for a Gold Glove. You got to see nobody makes that play, hardly but him, especially left-hander falling that way with. That's something when guys come up here. There's so many times you go, that would have been a hit in AAA or AA. That would have been strike 3 when a guy fouls off a tough slider. It's one of those things that you know, the defense is so much better. But I think as we improve and get better defensively, I think it'll help some pitchers like Jeffrey feel a little more confident about attacking the strike zone sometimes. What happens, guys struggle somewhat statistically, and they go in to try to strike people out mode instead of weak contact.
You talk about, well,
that's where a lot of the walks come in. I'm sorry.
You talked about the 3, you know, long starts you've got in the last, you know, 3 games here. Mm-hmm. Do you feel almost, with all due respect, that you've had to be, with the lack of starters, you've had to be sort of in survival mode the last few weeks and just trying to get through?
You know, Richard, that would be, you know, I'm not going to go there. It sounds like an excuse, and it is what, you know, I look at it as an opportunity to see some people enroll in situations they might not be in. You know, it is what it is, and you try and take some positives out of it. And a lot of it's got to do with, you know, we've got 8 to 10 guys down physically too. I mean, as far back as a Rojo. I mean, you know, I mean, I can keep going. So, a lot of people that we thought were going to be depth that haven't been able to answer the bell. So, it is what it is. It's part of, you know, going up here. I mean, nobody's, you know, they got. You know, we're going to start, by the way, before I forget about it, we'll start Jakob on us tomorrow. You know, I was trying to, if I could get through this doubleheader without having to use Gil Martin or Mike, but I had to use both of them in long rolls. So Gil Martin might be able to pitch in anymore. We'll see. But I don't think Mike will. Well, I wouldn't do it for him anyway. So, yeah, I mean, it's been a challenge. It's, you know, it takes a lot of imagination, and you got to stay on top of every inning. And you know, then you got, but there's a lot tougher things going on in this world than trying to figure out who can and who will pitch.
What kind of strides has Mike Wright made in your eyes?
You know, it's been a step forward and a step back with Mike. I know it's frustrating because he's always had the arm for it, and especially since once the first couple months went away. I know it's frustrating for Mike. It's just, you know, he throws a lot of pitches that are, I'm not saying non-competitive, they're just balls out of his hand, and he doesn't get that weak contact and some early counts, and and then he'll show you in an inning or two where, you know, there it is. And, you know, Mike understands that where he is and his experience level, he should be able to do better than he has. So, he's a big, strong guy with a good arm, and he understands there's a lot more to it than that. But he shows you the flashes of what he can do at times. But just the consistency has eluded him. Somebody say we're good.